What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle from the Entertainment Report podcast, and you are now in tune to the 6 Views Uncut. Check it out.
Cheers! Yeah, so we back into it. Interview of the evening with the boy Muscle from 2Lined Music Hut.
That's me.
How did you get this name, Muscle?
Okay, this is what it is. I tell people I'm gonna really give that story like 20 years from now. All right. So you gotta wait another 19 years, 364 days before I actually give you that story there.
Look at him.
But it's coming though.
It's coming.
It's coming. I'm gonna come back and give Guts the exclusive.
As long as I get it first.
The exclusive.
That's it.
Yeah.
Say less. And I got you on that, eh?
100. Yeah. 100.
So, who's Muscle, man? Where did you grow up? Your upbringing? Tell me a little bit.
Okay. Muscle originally from Scarborough. Well, East York. First, we was born downtown Toronto. We lived Blake Street until I was 12. And then we went to Scarborough when I was, 12, 13. And been in Scarborough forever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Grew up as a Seventh-day Adventist. That means you went to church on a Saturday. And to me, that was super weird because the only other people I knew that went to church on a Saturday were the people I seen in church. Okay. Besides that, there was no other human being that went to church on a Saturday in my mind.
So what were you guys listening to growing up? What were you listening to?
We're listening to gospel, but then you'll sneak and then you'll listen to hip hop. You know what I mean? I'm talking about early hip hop like Fat Boys, LL Cool J, Run DMC, those type of stuff there.
Who's your favorite?
Back then would be Run DMC.
Why Run?
Because it was that was the first mega hip hop group that we had seen at that time there. You know what I mean? And they were so influential. We even had a group named Ran TSC, Troy, Sheldon, Courtney. Okay. You understand? Yeah. I was I think I was a DJ or something. You know what I mean? Ran TSC. So yeah, Run DMC was the first one. They were, even when it came to their dressing with the shell top shoes, the gazelle glasses, the rope chain, Run DMC, they were the first influential hip hop group there was.
Facts. Super facts. Super facts. So growing up in Scarborough, how did you intertwine everything into like going into DJing?
It was something where my first thing into actually DJing was an obsession with speakers. I love speakers. Back then, they would throw out TVs on the road, the big back TVs. So my first thing is to try to open it and take the speaker up. I wanted to create the biggest speaker in my bedroom possible. I was obsessed with speakers, and clearly liking speakers is going to lead you to music. You know what I mean? And that's where everything really started for me. Speakers led to music.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How did you get into the CD game?
CD game. Wow. We got into the cassette game before the CD game.
Okay. Yeah. So take me back then, because before we even take me back. Okay. Do you remember me coming to your store in Malvern a couple of times?
Gutsy. Remind me, Guts.
CJ.
You know what?
I used to work with somebody that CJ worked with back when he had the shop in Dr. Flea's. Okay, so you were always Brampton side. West. So Etobicoke. Yeah. So yeah, we were there. So I remember we used to come sometimes and pick up CDs and movies and stuff from you. Wow. So we used to just come all the way to Marvel. I'm like, you come in, you come and you hold. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So cassette game.
Wow. Bam. First bomb for the night. All right, I get you. Yeah, cassettes. We actually started selling music in April 1st, 1996. I was in Jamaica in December 1995. I was there chilling every day. I'm going to go check the cassette man. Say, hey, you have new music? He said, boss, we don't get new music every day. Check me once a week because I was out there for a month. Okay, cool. Yeah. When came back, 96, as I said, April 1st, we're heading to a party. We're going to the party. I heard this come out of my mouth. I'm going to start selling music. It's like, I had to look around like, who's saying that? And it's like, I guess, okay, clearly it's me. And then from there, I connected with the same guy that used to sell the music to me in Jamaica and stuff like that. And start bringing in music. And then I'd come downtown here. There was a spot by Young and Dundas. called the Shopping Mall.
Okay.
That's where Big Apple was. Universal Touch was in there. A couple of them were in there. So, okay, I bring in my 10 tapes. I go check Universal Touch. He has 10 more. Swap. I got 20. Go check Apple around the corner. Get the DJ Clues, the doo-wops, the Ranjis. You know what I mean? The DJ Rated R, and bring it back to the East. And then, we're off to the races.
So did you ever make a mixtape like yourself? Or a cassette tape yourself? Or like you had a little, like how Rock the House and them guys did it out there?
I had one cassette. It was like a lot of remixes and stuff that we did. And one CD that I actually put out. It was the Chronicles of Movado. That did numbers worldwide.
Okay.
Worldwide.
So that'll be like your biggest mixtape or cassette or thing that you did?
For us personally, as in you put out something, I would say definitely that. 100%.
Another little secret question I got here.
What's up?
Is it true that there's a tune out there from you, from Muscle?
No.
No? You've never recorded anything? No?
Okay. Are you talking about Kiss the Ring? Kiss the Ring 2020?
I don't know exactly what, but all I was told was there could be a tune out there.
No, never.
No?
Artist was never, for some reason, out of everything I've done in the industry, artist was never something I wanted to do. Manage artists, dabbled in production, engineering, but never wanted to be an artist. So from what I remember, I've been doing this a long time. From what I remember, I don't have a song of them.
All right. All right. What about your voiceovers? You said that you do voiceovers.
Yeah.
Do you have like a big voiceover that you've done? I tried to look into that.
Voiceover, it was more a lot of parties. We did the all of the campaign for Sunrise Caribbean Restaurant. We did that campaign there. A lot of stuff that you heard on Flow at one time, the early flows, G's, a lot of local. So it was never one, okay, this one here. But it was a lot of in between.
Okay, got you. Mm-hmm. Can you bring us talk about Sands?
Sands? Yeah, what do you want to know about Sands?
Were you at the infamous Sands that happened when all that stuff happened? I believe we were vlogging it, no?
Yeah, I was there.
Talk us through that whole incident.
Okay, that event there was one of the craziest events we've ever sold tickets for. Ever. I actually had a EMT waiting line for people sending crazy money wanting to buy tickets when we didn't have them. Okay, cool. It was crazy. The energy was crazy. So I got there. Now, when I got there, I seen the confusion at the door. I said, what? This is a big one here. Got inside. Me now, anybody knows me. I know a lot of people, but I'm always by myself. My first place was go straight to the stage. I don't want to be in this crowd. I want to be upper level where I could see everything going on. It's me by myself, so there's no issue. Got to the stage, looked around. We're there for a while now. The vibes were great. Look to a corner. You seen some shuffling in the back because there was the back, a fence, and then the VIP section. In the back, you start to see some form of shuffling. Then people start to come over the fence. You see from people started to come over the fence and start pushing people forward. You know, black people run first, ask questions later.
Facts.
So then that's what happened. Everybody started to run. Some people say shots happened. For me personally, I could tell you I did not hear 0 shots. Me personally. And we were there. I was there probably hour and a half, 2 hours after everybody left. And it was still didn't hear no shots. So Sands was crazy. That was a crazy one.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. Yeah. Why? I guess going back to the whole gun violence thing, why do we have that issue with it? Like, because in Jamaica, these things really, if niggas bust guns, it's just a bust gun at the party because the tune was big. People don't really have these issues anywhere else. Like, not saying anywhere else in the world, but per se West Indian side. You go to Trinidad, anywhere else, these people are able to have fun, no issues. For some strange reason, they come to Toronto and they want to go on bad and just.
But you have to remember, when you're in, like, let's go with Trinidad. When you're in Trinidad, generally everybody's from Trinidad, everybody's Trini, or you just fall into the Trinidad order. Whatever's happening here, this is what we do.
Yeah.
When you go to Barbados, you go to Jamaica, Guyana, wherever you go, that's what it is. When you come to Canada now, some of us are Guyanese, some are Jamaican, some are Bajan, some are Trini, some are Scotian, and all of this in one. So there is no one way. Okay, this is what everybody does. Everybody's doing their own thing, and that creates confusion.
Okay. Yeah. Going back to the dancehall in Toronto, what's the difference between dancehall back in the day to the dancehall now?
Dancehall back in the day to dancehall now.
Because I can't honestly remember any dancehall artists in Toronto back in the day.
There always has, but again, until we had somebody like the Drake to legitimize everybody across the board, everybody seemed like they were just trying, or they were doing good, even if it was just on a local scene, but worldwide. Not until Drake came along where we could actually say, okay, we have worldwide artists now. You understand? So even with dancehall, we've had some great hits. We still haven't had that level there yet. But there's been some great music that came.
So would you, those same guys that you were naming earlier, Isis, Tristan, are these guys, would you say those guys are the closest ones to it right now?
Yeah. Isis, Tristan, Sample King, Blessed.
I remember Blessed. Blessed's been out for a while. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. You understand? So they're doing their things too. But even Tristan, if I remember good, the other day, he had a crazy viral video on TikTok, if I remember good also. So then those places like TikTok, Instagram, and these places where you can now go viral, these places didn't exist past 8 years ago.
Facts.
So it's only now we're really figuring out how it works.
Okay. How was it changing over to like doing podcasting and doing your news reports and stuff like that?
It was hard at first. It was really hard at first.
Yeah.
Because again, the daytime job was CDs. You're selling CDs and DVDs, and that's what you're doing for 21 years. You're selling music, cassettes, VHS, then CDs and DVDs. So when it came to podcasting now, it was almost something that I fell into by accident, even though people's been telling me to do it for a while now. But it was something where when we moved from Malvern Town Center in 2017, and I moved to an office, which was just 5 minutes from the mall, it's just now you have to park, take a ticket from the attendant, go upstairs the third floor, and then come looking for me. At first I said, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell music from here. As wild and as crazy as that sounds to anybody, that was what was in my mind. That was the game plan. Yes, we're going to sell music. You see, when I went upstairs, third floor, and I closed that door, I knew immediately this isn't going to work anymore. The very first day getting there. So it's like, Frank, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? Was listening to this guy, Gary V.
Shout out Gary V.
Yeah, heard him a couple times, but I didn't like him. I didn't like him at first. No, honestly. I didn't like him because he was too
much.
Too mumbo jumbo and too over the place. And me personally, anything that's too exciting, I pull away from it quickly. I listened to it for a bit, didn't pay him no mind. My friend Wes Hype from Juice Comedy said, yo, I sent you a video, check it out. A couple days passed, I didn't check it out. Then he called me again. He said, yo, do you check it out? I said, no. I said, okay, let me check it out now. When I checked it out, I seen it was Gary V. It's like, oh, fuck. Yeah, this guy here. Then he said, yo, did you check it out? I said, no, man. I said, you know what? Let me play this. You see, once I played it again, and it's like I had on a different lens, a different glasses, that I seen and heard what he said. From there is where the ball started to roll. 100%.
Okay.
Big respect to Gary V for really putting me onto the podcast game. Because his thing was, he said, yo, I'm going to give you guys all this information. 99% of the people aren't going to do anything with it. In my heart and soul, I said, listen, I'm going to make sure I'm in that 1%. Even if I at least try. And it doesn't work, I'm going to at least try.
Straight. I like that. I like that mentality. I want something to play here. Can you play that song for me really quick? Sorry. I got a song I'm going to play for you.
Okay.
Free Remy. Fuck you, free Remy.
Fuck Nicki Minaj.
Diamond chicken wing chain. Are you dumb? You had a leopard on your head. Are you talking about your dumb?
I played this song.
Yeah.
Because there's an interesting. I played it because of both of you guys, actually.
Okay.
Y'all both started because of this song. So Friday started his podcast because of, well, originally that was the first episode, no? Like you guys spoke about Nicki Minaj and them, no?
Yeah, episode 1. It wasn't what started it, but episode 1 when we were looking for news.
Yeah.
I woke up that morning and I was like, oh my God, I got news.
Wild.
And that was your first one for your news report.
Yeah, when we were doing the 1 minute, because the podcast really started, first it was like a 1 minute entertainment report on Instagram, because now we got the minute, we could do whatever we want. And that was on the first episode. I was talking about Nicki Minaj and Remy. Wow. You do your research. I like that. And the funny thing with it, I think I just posted it the other day too. So then I gave you some ammunition.
Yeah, I seen that. So I was just like, oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah. What was that like? Do you like going back filming all that?
It was when you look back at it, it's like, as I told somebody the other day, I didn't feel comfortable in front of the camera at that time there. But then you got to work through it. It's either you're not going to feel comfortable and just leave it alone, or you're not going to feel comfortable until you get comfortable. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's where we are now. We're still learning. We're still getting there. But yeah, that was actually pretty good to cover that. I remember I woke up that morning and it was either that morning or night, and I seen Remy Ma drop that. I said, whoa, this is wild.
I felt exactly the same thing.
Well,
I said, whoa.
Shout out Remy Ma, because this is all happening because, well, kind
Crazy.
of.
Shout out Papoose too, because Papoose be I think he follows us.
Oh yeah, shout out.
Okay.
Shout out Papoose.
100%.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't interview someone?
Is there a reason? I can't think of one now. I remember when a lot of people said that they wouldn't want to interview Tekashi and stuff. I said, bruh, let them call me, because my thing is this. I want to know what's in your mind. And only you could tell me what's in your mind, unless you're like, I guess, like you do something to kids and those type of stuff there. That's something where you totally put off you wouldn't do, but something street politics. I want to know, why do you think that way?
Okay, I'm going to throw one name at you, and I'm going to get into something you just said. Mayhem Moriarty.
Yeah.
Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he was Toronto's original friggin' 6ix9ine.
Mm-hmm.
You would do him?
Yes, I would.
Interview him, sorry? Pause.
Again, because I want to know what's in your mind. What was in your mind when you were doing the badness? And what was in your mind when you decided to switch? And what was in your mind when you actually did switch? I want to know what's in your mind. You know what I mean? You have to remember, certain things are for views, certain things are for access, and certain things are just because you want to get it done. I want to know what's in your mind.
I feel like, and sorry to get a little off track, do you feel like we would kind of get backlash for that Friday? Because, and it's not to knock you or anything. No. I feel like we're more for, like you said, like we're more for the streets, and we're so like Toronto. And I feel like if we did something like that, we'd get so shitted on.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to us, like I respect Muscle's answer, but he also has a different platform that gives off a different sentiment to the people, right? They're going to be looking for different things from him. They're not going to be like, yo, why are you sitting with this man?
Facts.
Right? We're going to get the flack.
Straight.
Right? So it's like, it's kind of not worth the flack to us, where you're not going to get the flack. It's going to be like, yo, Muscles is trying to, like you said, find out what's going on in his mind. With us, even if we might be looking to do the same thing, people won't care.
Because people don't care what's in their mind. But you got to remember, do you think he's the only one that went through that whole situation? He's the only known rapper that went through that situation. You know how much hood mans?
Well, there's another one.
You know how many hood mans there is that's going through that exact same situation? I want to know, what was your thought process when you were in it, to when you decided to flip, to when you flipped? What was your thought process? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that would be real.
Yeah. It's not promoted. So yeah, you're a great guy for doing that. That's not what I'm about. What's in your mind? And I want it out of your mouth with your own words.
So another little sidetrack, a question that I've been at, well, I've kind of been bringing this up on the show. You brought up, guys that, whatever, rapists or things like that, right? Do you feel like we've been like RIPing people that's in their songs, they say like boosting the crime rate, like the King Vons and stuff like that, right? Do you feel like people are saying RIP to them, but they wouldn't say RIP to like the rapists and stuff? And is it kind of like a torn thing where it's like, we're kind of like saying, okay, well, we're praising, not really praising a person, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that? Where it's just like somebody that has murdered somebody, we would say RIP, and you know, obviously it's RIP and condolences, but if they're a rapist or something, we're like, nah, there's no RIP on that, fam. Like, you know what I mean?
Because life is, we're never absolute. We're never 100% this is what we're going to do, and 100% this is what we're not going to do. There's always an exception to a rule. Well, you know what? Okay, well, he was 90% a bad person, but this is a 10% good that he did. You know what I mean? His music was fire, but his lifestyle was trash.
He made I Believe I Can Fly. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you understand? And it's like you're separating the art from the human being to the human being also. At the end of the day, there's still a human being. As long as your crimes against humanity isn't super wild, you'll get arrested. All right. You know what I mean? You'll get a smiles. But again, we're not highlighting it. We're not bigging it up. It's just, you know what? You should have known better. Hopefully somebody learns from your mistake.
Mm. Have you gotten any backlash from any interviews?
Yes. And it was so random because the same backlash, it's like my phone would ring and somebody would say, yo, fuck you, that was a bullshit interview. The next one would say, yo, that was the greatest, we have your back 100%. And that's what was happening all the time. And it's like, this is really weird. And I'm not talking, and this is not local. You'll see a New York number come up and say, yo, fuck you, that's bullshit, whatever that was, we didn't like that. And another New York number come up and say, hey, we love what you're doing, we got your back 100%. That's what it is. And that was the Billy Slaughter from Stone Love interview. That was the one that really got the most backlash out of anything I've done so far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was really wild. It's like, that's when you really see it. Again, I tell people, you hustle, hustle, hustle. Go on YouTube, do your thing. But a lot of times, I seen you guys do it the other day too. We never show them the downside where people are leaving those bad comments, where you'll get 80 good ones and 2 bad ones, but you're fixated on the 2 bad ones instead of the 80 good ones you got. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of, when there's no name attached to it, they'll tell you anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything. And it's people that you know too, you know.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time. It's somebody we know.
Can I throw something in there?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you respond to comments?
I was just going to ask it.
I've responded to one bad comment, and it wasn't really responding. It was like, listen, it's cool. I understand your point of view, but listen, he was DJ something or another. I said, I came over to your page to come critique what you're doing, just to discover that there's nothing here. But I'm going to give you a follow, and I'm going to leave my number for you in case you want to get some content, and I'll show you what to do. You understand? Yeah. Yeah.
Straight up.
But generally, you have to... Bad comments are sometimes telling you the truth, you know. Mm. Sometimes, you know. But it's just they don't know how to say it. If 5 people are generally saying the same thing, they're onto something.
What's the worst comment that you got that you're like, yo, what?
There's no, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Your accent is annoying. I hate your fucking laugh, but I love your laugh. Anything a human being could think of is what they'll write on YouTube. You understand? Yeah, but I've learned the more I do it, the more I go into YouTube land, is the less those comments get, because you have to keep putting out crazy amount of work.
Mm. So you've interviewed R.I.P. Louis Rankin, the real Rick Ross. Yeah. You've had Friday or PK Herc on there, numerous dancehall acts. Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite? Okay. I have somebody that took me the longest, which was, that time was Master Key. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? He actually took 1 year to get to the podcast. We started talking in February. He got there by next February. And what I love with that one, why it sticks out so much in my heart, this is somebody we all seen growing up. It doesn't matter if you're my age, 45, or if you're 25 or 30. We all seen Master T on Much Music, interviewing hip hop, reggae, pop, Madonna, Janet Jackson, you name it. And for this person now to say, you know what, give you the green light, say, okay, you could talk to me. And it was never in a boastful way or anything, because it's now a journalist to a journalist. Mm-hmm. He said, he gave me the green light. That felt friggin' amazing.
How was that interview like?
Amazing. You know what I mean?
Have you ever gotten nervous during the interview?
All the time. All the time. You know what I mean? All the time.
Yeah.
The first 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the guest, are the hardest part of the interview.
Facts.
Especially the virtual ones. You see, but if you have them sitting right beside you, that first 2 minutes after that, you're off to the races.
Yeah. So you don't really like the Zoom then, I guess. You're not a fan of it?
I'm a fan because of what it brought me. It gave me access to a lot of people that were not even in my thought before. But the sitting down with somebody right here, you could never beat that.
Yeah, facts. That's super facts. Before I gotta bring it back. What was it like getting this body in Malvern Mall? Can you explain how that process was? And like, did you have a spot before that too? Mm-hmm. Okay, so
we had
and you had more than one, right?
We had, when we got to Malvern, that was our second spot where we had running simultaneously. We had one in Galloway and we had one in Malvern at the same time. So getting that was basically, I remember, was it Spider or Steve? I think it was Steve from Red Flame came to me at my other shop on Galloway. Said, yo, a spot opened up in Malvern Town Center. You should check it out. I said, all right. I didn't really pay it no mind. Next week, something said, yo, go check it out. Put together a package, went and go check the mall management, presented them with a proposal. Got back to me about 2 weeks later, and I was in.
Do you have like another memory in there, like a fondest memory being in there? Because I know some crazy, man. I've been in there and did some crazy shit when I'm seeing you there and you're just working. So I know.
There's, boss. Listen, I got there October 1st, 2002. And we left in June 2017. That was 15 years, sir. If I could tell you everything I seen, heard, knew, it would be Shrek, man. I can't.
Again, you don't get in trouble.
No, it's not even trouble. It's you've seen the best of the best and the worst of the worst. You understand? Like, okay, for instance, Future the Prince, Drake's people, all right? That's my people from Malvern Town Center.
Okay.
You know what I mean? People. Other people you would see on a daily basis, you stop seeing them. You pick up the newspaper, you heard that they got shot. And remember, this is somebody touring the world and somebody dying. That's best to worst and everything in between.
I hear that. I hear that. Could you give maybe me or some up and coming interviewers, journalists, some advice that you've learned over the time?
What I've learned is be yourself and never assimilate to your guest. As in, if your guest is from Hong Kong, you might know some word, Cantonese or whatever the case is, but don't try to act like you know everything about Hong Kong. Always be yourself. Always be yourself and your true self, 100% of yourself, whether they like it or not. But they'll respect you for you being you.
Straight.
Yeah.
I hear that.
And always do your research. Always do your research. It doesn't matter how chill it looks. Yeah, we're just sitting here talking. It's either you have all the points in your mind already or you have them on your laptop. Always do your research.
Facts.